Well, hello and how are you? Hey, friend. Welcome to the Shen Show. I am your host, Shenandoah Briscoe, coming to you live right here in St. Charles, Missouri. Hey, today's Wednesday, March 20th, 2024. Got happy birthday shout outs going out to Bob Breadensteiner, Patrick uh, Kelly, and Jerry Reiser. So, without further ado, hey, Trey. Hey, Patrick. Hey, Bob. Hey, I heard it's your birthday today. Why, that's another year gone away. I hope you're enjoying your special day because, well, it's your happy birthday day today. Did you day? It's your happy birthday day today. Said, hey, Bob. Hey, Patrick. Hey, Jerry. Hey, you heard it's your birthday today. Why, that's another trip around the sun that you made. I hope you're enjoying your special day because, well, it's your happy birthday day today. Did you day? It's your happy birthday day today. All right, hey, happy birthday to the three of you and many, many more. Then there's the Shin Show shout out fans. Hey, the fans are out there. I got Marianne Williams Briscoe, a.k.a. my mommy, Savann Murphy Beason, Kimberly Dodd Little, a.k.a. Ducky, Ken and Becky Tackett, and Diana Gray, and Sarah Lee. All of the new Shinjo fans. Sarah Lee is a new Shinjo fan from just just started watching. All right, and then I got my Pokey pal. Special return poke for you right now, Amanda Sue Little. All righty, there we have it. How about a weather forecast for the St. Charles viewing area? I hope I didn't miss the window of opportunity to get. Yep, I missed it. Today's high temperature was 57. And guess what? It is still 57. And it's not that bad as long as you're not sitting in the wind, as long as you're kind of hiding in the corner, which is what I do. I hide in a corner and keep myself out of the wind. Later on today, for overnight, it's going to have a few passing clouds. Temperatures are going to drop down to around 31 degrees Fahrenheit, and the winds are going to be northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. And then for Thursday, uh, March the 21st, we're going to have cloudy skies early, followed by partially clearing skies, and then high temperatures of 53 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds will be east at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Mostly clear skies overnight, with low temperatures around 36 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds will be out of the east at east to southeast, that is, at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Friday, March the 22nd, partly cloudy skies with slight chances of rain showers. High temperatures around 72 degrees Fahrenheit with south to southeast winds shifting to west winds at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Rain showers in the evening will be clearing later at night. Low temperatures of 32 degrees Fahrenheit with winds north at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chances of rain 40%. See, Saturday, March the 23rd, some clouds in the north will give way to mainly sunny skies later at night during the afternoon. High temperatures of 53 degrees Fahrenheit with winds north to northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Partly to mostly cloudy skies overnight. Low temperatures of 34 degrees Fahrenheit and winds east at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Then for Sunday, March the 24th, cloudy skies with high temperatures of 61 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds will be southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Cloudy skies occasionally with showers later at night. Low temperatures of 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Chances of rain 40%. And then for our fifth and final day of our 5-day forecast, Monday, March the 25th. Windy and with some rain showers and high temperatures of 66 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds will be south to southeast at 20 to 30 miles per hour. Chances of rain 60% and high wind gusts are possible. A steady rain in the evening, showers continuing later on at night. Low temperatures around 40 degrees Fahrenheit with winds south at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Chances of rain 70% with rainfall near a quarter of an inch. And that, my friends, is your 5-day forecast for the St. Charles viewing area. I had a fan watching there a second ago, and they went away. I guess they wanted to get their weather forecast, and they're out, which is okay. Got a song request today. Let's see. I'm going to say it was a song request. Somebody played a song, and it was Patsy Lozier. She played the song, and so I'm going to go ahead and do that song for you all right now. Song lyrics, Thank God for Kids. If it weren't for kids having the you, have you ever thought there would be no Santa Claus? Or look what the stroke just brought. Thank God for kids. And Kool-Aid on the couch. Thank God for kids. And we'd all live in a quiet house without Big Bird or Mickey Mouse. And Kool-Aid on the couch. Thank God for kids. That's the Oak Ridge Boys. Song lyrics, Thank God for Kids, Kenny Chesney. If it weren't for kids, have you ever thought there would be no Santa Claus? Oh, look what the stork just brought. Thank God for kids. We'd all live in a quiet house without Big Bird or Mickey Mouse and Kool-Aid on the couch. Thank God for kids. Thank God for kids. They're magic for a while. A special kind of sunshine in a smile. Do you ever stop to think or wonder why the nearest thing to heaven is a child? Daddy, how does this thing fly? 100 other wheres and whys. You really don't know, but you try. I thank God for kids. When you look down in those trusting eyes that look up you realize it's love that you can't buy. Thank God for kids. Thank God for kids. Magic for a while. A special kind of sunshine and a smile. Do you ever stop to think or wonder why the nearest thing to heaven is a child? When you get down on your knees tonight to thank the Lord for his guiding light and pray they turn out right, and thank God for kids. Thank God for kids. I know I didn't do that justice, so we're not going to do any more singing. My throat's all cranked out, dried out, and so we're just going to jump right on into TV time with story time with TV Grandpa. And what are we going to do here? Throat is all messed up, so you'll have to bear with. Rapunzel. That's what they'll do. Okay, kiddos, jump up on the couch or jump up on the bed. It's time to rest your sleepy little head. TV Grandpa is gonna lull you off to sleep with another tantalizing story to sweep you into dreamland. So here we go. Rapunzel. Chapter 1. The Carpenter and His Wife. Once upon a time, there lived a carpenter and his wife. More than anything, they wanted a child of their own. At long last, their wish came true, and they were going to have a baby. From their second floor window, the wife could see a garden next door. Such fine, straight rows of fresh plants and flowers, but no one dared to see them up close, for the garden belonged to a witch. One day, the wife was looking down at the garden from her window. How delicious those big green heads of lettuce looked. That is just what I must have to eat, she said to her husband. Go and give me some. But what we cannot, said her husband. You know as well as I do that the garden belongs to a witch. If I cannot have that lettuce, she said, will not eat anything at all, and I will die. What could the carpenter do? So late that night, he climbed over the garden wall, taking quite a very tough, taking very quiet step. He broke one green head of lettuce out of the ground. Holding the lettuce close to his chest, he climbed back over the garden wall. His wife ate up all that lettuce right away, but eating the lettuce only made her want more. And she said if she could not have more lettuce, there was nothing she would eat. So the next night, the carpenter came back over the garden wall. He broke one more head of lettuce from the ground. All at once, a high voice came from behind him. Haha, exactly what are you doing? Uh, I'm getting some lettuce from my wife, said the carpenter. You thief, yelled the witch. You will pay for this. Please, said the carpenter. My wife is going to have a baby. She saw your lettuce and wanted it so very much. Why is that my problem? Shouted the witch. I will do anything to make this right with you, said the carpenter. He thought, surely I can build her something that she would like. You say that you will do anything, said the witch. Yes, name it, said he. Fine, said the witch. Here's the deal. Go ahead, take the lettuce you want. Your wife will have a baby girl, and when she does, the baby will be mine. What? Said the carpenter. I would never agree to that. You've already did, said the witch, and she laughed an evil laugh. Indeed, the wife had a baby girl, just as the witch had said. To keep the little baby safe from the witch, the carpenter built a tall tower deep in the woods. He built stairs that led up to the room at the very top, and there he put in one window. He and his wife took turns staying there with the baby. But the witch had a ball, and the magic ball showed the baby was in the top room of this tower. And when the carpenter and his wife were both inside the house, the witch cast a spell over them, and they fell into a deep sleep. The witch went directly to the tower and up to the room at the top. where the baby slept in its cradle. You are mine, hissed the witch. I will call you Rapunzel, for that is the name of the lettuce your, that brought you to me. With her magic, the witch sent the carpenter and his wife back to their cottage, and the witch did not know how to take care of the baby. Rapunzel grew into a child, and the witch did not know how to cut her hair. The girl's blonde hair grew longer and longer. All the witch could do was keep the little girl locked in the room at the very top of the tower. And she told the little girl that the world was a very bad place, and that it is why she must never leave the tower. As she grew up, many times Rapunzel said to the witch, "There is nothing here for me to do. Why must I stay in this tower all the time?" And the witch would say and shout back, "I told you so much too many times. The world is a very bad place. Now go comb your hair and be quiet." But it is it really so bad out there? Rapunzel would sometimes insist. "I hear people laughing down below the window." At such times the witch would yell, "How many times do I have to repeat myself? Don't listen to anything you see or hear out there. The world is much worse than you think." On her 21st, her 12th birthday, Rapunzel found the courage to say to the witch, "I do not care what you say anymore. I am so tired of staying here alone all the time when you are gone that I will chip away at the door. I will make a hole. I will run down the stairs and go outside, and you can't stop me." "You think?" said the witch. With her powers, she made all the stairs in the tower break, and she closed up the door at the bases of the tower. Now there was no way for Rapunzel to escape. But by then, Rapunzel's hair had grown very long, long enough that once the stairs were gone, when it was time for the witch to visit her in the tower, she would call from outside, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair." Rapunzel would throw her long blonde braids out the window, and the witch would grab a hold of her hair like a rope. And that is how the witch climbed up the tower wall to the window in Rapunzel's room. 5 more long years went by. Poor Rapunzel, she had to stay in that room day after day. All she could do was sing and say sad songs from the window. Sometimes birds at the treetops would join her song, and then she would feel a little better. But only a little. And one day a prince was riding through the woods. He heard a beautiful song, singing voice. It sounded like it was coming from the treetops, but of course that was impossible. He rode closer to the sound, and at last he was standing before the tower. "This is odd," he said, looking around the house or the base of the tower. "There is no door to get in, and yet someone has been singing at the very top of the tower. How does anyone get in or out?" There was something about the singing that enchanted him. The prince returned to the tower each day. But who was this young woman, and why was she there every day? One day, when the prince rode up to the tower, he saw an old woman standing at the base of the tower. And then he jumped behind a tree to hide. It was a witch. he heard her call out, Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair. And a long blonde braid was thrown down out from the window at the very top. The old woman grabbed onto the braids and climbed to the window at the very top of the tower. Ha ha, thought the prince. See, so I see. That is how it is done. And he waited after a bit, and the braid was thrown out the window again, and the witch climbed back down the braids. And now she was on the ground, and she left. The prince wanted some more, waited some more, and he stepped up to the tower. In a voice that sounded as much like the witch as he could, he called out, Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair. In a moment, the same long blonde braids came out the window. It works, thought the prince, and he climbed up the tower wall. You can be sure that Rapunzel was very surprised to see the prince climb into her window. She had never seen a person up close before, other than the witch, much less a man. Who are you? She said in fear. And what are you? Don't worry, said the prince. I am a friend. I don't know you, said Rapunzel. I feel as if I know you, said the prince, since I have heard you sing up here every day. You have a beautiful voice. I love it when the birds sing with you. You know about that, said Rapunzel. It may be the only thing I like, since I must stay here in this castle by the same old tower day after day, my whole life long. Rapunzel told the prince about the witch, and she told him that since the world was such a very bad place, she must always stay in the tower. But the world is not a bad place at all, said the prince, and he told Rapunzel about flowers and festivals, games and gardens, about puddles and puppies, and strawberries and secrets, and and she was fascinated. And so many hours went by. At last Rapunzel said to the prince, You must go. The witch may come back at any time. Very well, said he, but I will be back tomorrow. Rapunzel threw her braids out the window, and the prince climbed down. The next day, the prince climbed back up to Rapunzel's room, and he said, I have a surprise for you. He had brought her a basket of strawberries. Now, as she tasted a strawberry, Rapunzel thought, What I was told is not true. The world can't be a very bad place. What else is there that I am missing? She said to the prince, I must get out of this tower as soon as I can. But how? Chapter 4. The prince said, I can come and go by holding on to your braids. But once I am down, the problem is, how do we get you down too? Then suddenly Rapunzel had an idea. Here, wait, here's what I can do, she said. Bring me a ball of silk each time you come. I will weave the silk into a ladder. Skill folds silk folds up small, and that the witch won't even see it. When the ladder gets long enough to reach the ground, I will follow you down by climbing down the ladder. That will work, cried the prince. So he moved closer to Rapunzel. You know, out in the world, when two people like each other very much, they can do something very special. They can get married and to be together always. Do you think you might want to be married to me someday? Maybe, said Rapunzel, though I have not been out in the world yet. and we can still spend time together, even if we are not married. Is that all right? Of course, said the prince, thinking that he can be patient for a very long time. And every day after that, the prince brought one ball of silk to Rapunzel, and over time she'd weave the silk into a long ladder. Well, on Rapunzel's 18th birthday, the witch spoke to her in a sharp voice. I am sick and tired of hearing you go on and on about being alone in this tower all the time. Know this, Rapunzel, that is not going to change. You will stay here in this tower forever. Who says I am alone in the room all the time? Said Rapunzel. What? She said the witch. Who's been up here with you? No one, said Rapunzel at once in fear. I mean, no one but you. The witch did not believe her. She looked everywhere in the room for something to prove that someone else had been there. She found the ladder and held it high in the air. She yelled, What's this? And what is the meaning of this? My friend the prince brought me silk, and I've made the ladder, said Rapunzel. You will never see this prince again, yelled the witch. She took out a knife, snip, 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 and Rapunzel's lovely braids was off. Holding the braids in one hand, the witch laughed an evil laugh, and then, with a stroke of her magic, Rapunzel was cast off to a faraway desert. But the witch stayed in the tower room. She knew the prince would come back. The witch did not have to wait long. Soon the prince was calling the at the bottom of the tower window. Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair. And so, huh? I'm having the egg pop me up. Oh, okay. All right. I'll see you next week. Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair. And so that he did it through, thought the witch. So that's how he did it, thought the witch. Hold tightly to one end of Rapunzel's braids. She threw the other braid out the window. The prince took hold of and climbed up. And when he got to the window, he was very surprised to see the witch. Where is Rapunzel? He called out. What have you done with her? You will never see your Rapunzel again, howled the witch. And the old woman pushed the prince so hard that he lost hold of the window. Down, down, down he fell. The prince landed on some bushes that helped with his fall, but the bushes had thorns, and some of them went into his eyes, and the prince was blind. For 2 years the poor prince wandered the world looking for Rapunzel from morning to night. He called out for her, but it was of no use. At last he reached a desert one day, and he heard a beautiful voice singing. Oh my, he exclaimed. I would know that voice anywhere. It was his dear Rapunzel. And he went closer and closer to the voice, and he knew so well. My prince, called Rapunzel when she saw him. The two of them hugged together. Two teardrops of joy dropped from Rapunzel's face into the eyes of the prince. All at once he could see again. What happened next? Well, you may have a pretty good idea. The prince and Rapunzel went back to the kingdom where the prince lived. During all that time apart, both of them came to realize that it was right between them. They were married, and a few years later, the prince became king of the land, and Rapunzel became queen, and the two of them lived happily ever after. And that was the end. of story time with TV Grandpa. Now we will be going to the Daily Bread portion of the program. Daily Bread portion of the program is going to be brought to you today by the Bible with Briscoe 2024, a daily reading of the Bible to be completed within 1 year. Today's reading in the Bible with Briscoe 2024 will be Joshua 4 through 6 and Luke 1 1 through 20. Okay, so here we go. Happy Trust. That is today's devotion in the Daily Bread portion of the program, and we will be reading Psalm 40 1 through 5. Psalm 40 1 through 5. I waited patiently for the Lord. He turned to me and heard my cry. He lifted me out of the slimy pit, out of the mud and mire. He set my feet on a rock and gave me a firm place to stand. He put a new song in my mouth, a hymn of praise to our God. Many will see and fear the Lord and put their trust in him. Blessed is the one who trusts in the Lord, who does not look to the crowd, and though to those who turn aside to false gods. Many, many, Lord my God, are the wonders you have done, the things that you planned for us. None can compare with you. Where I speak and tell you of your deeds, they will build, uh, they would be too many to declare. Were I to speak and tell of your needs, there would be too many to declare. There. Sounds better that way, doesn't it? All right. Happy trust in the Lord. Psalm 40 through 1 through 5. And that is the daily bread portion of the program, which brings us to the end of the Bible with the Shen show today. Oh, hey, friend. My throat is not up to singing, so we're going to pretty much shut her down for already. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you. I really do. Um, but we're going to shut her down today because, well, it's kind of a weird day. Throat's messed up. And, well, I already read some of the shows. I've done pretty much everything for today except for singing. And, well, you know how that goes. All right. Alrighty then. We'll check you later. God bless you. Thank you for tuning in. Alrighty, my friends, that's it. That's all. That's the Shin Show in a nutshell. This here has been Shenandoah Briscoe saying hello and how are you? Thanks for tuning into the Shen Show. And as always, God loves you, and so do I. So come back and see us again tomorrow because, well, God willing, we'll be here. And we hope that you are too. Hello, goodbye, my friends. It's time to go. I said goodbye, my friends. It's time to go. I hate to leave you, but but I really must go. So goodbye, my friends. Goodbye. Uh, Goodbye, my friends. Goodbye. All right. Have a blessed day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.